We've talked a little bit about ball handling and shooting. Today we're going to talk about passing. The most underrated part of the basketball game, in my eyes, is a person's ability to be a passer. A great passer can make his teammates better. And if you can put 5 great passers on the floor, you no doubt have a chance to be very successful as a team on the offensive end. And so we want to talk a little bit about passing and some different types of passes. And we're going to then show you some drills that we use to improve our kids as passers. But when you're passing a basketball, again, it's much the same as dribbling and shooting, and it's done with your fingertips. Okay, it's done with your fingertips. We don't pass the ball with the palms of our hand. Everything's done with fingertip control here at Elodia, and we're really big on keeping your fingertips into your passes and really putting yourself in position from the ground up to be strong passers. So we want to have a good, strong base when we're passing, feet wider than shoulder width. We're in a good athletic stance, handling the basketball with our fingertips, and you want to step into every one of your passes. We want to step into every one of our passes. One thing I like to do here is we teach our kids, and it may not be feasible in all of your lessons, but we like to encourage our kids to, every time you make a pass to your teammate, we want you to call out their name. Right, whenever you're ready. Josh. Coach. So we like our kids to communicate to each other throughout the game, and in every drill we do in practice, we want our kids talking to each other. And it's something that if you get kids from a same high school that are working together every day, it's a great idea to have them call each other's names throughout drills as we're teaching them here at Elodia. The first pass we're going to talk about is the chest pass. And the chest pass is probably the most common pass in the game of basketball. And basically, we want both hands on sides of the basketball. It's not a push pass, it's a two-handed pass. Okay, we don't want to be one hand, strong hand. A lot of kids that come to us at younger ages like to pass with their strong hands. We want to get our kids to learn to pass two-handed passes. So the chest pass is done with both hands on the side of the basketball. Again, we got a good strong base, knees bent in an athletic position. We're going to step into all of our passes. We want to step into all of our passes. Okay, very important. We're going to step into all of our passes. All right, and the chest pass is delivered by taking both thumbs and turning them down to the floor. Okay? If we do the chest pass correctly, we ought to have perfect backspin on the ball. And that's one way we can check ourselves and check our kids when we're teaching them how to pass properly, is look at the spin of the basketball. If we tend to get one hand more involved than the other, the ball's going to spin sideways or not spin perfect. We're trying to get perfect backspin on the basketball, which is a way for us as coaches to identify if our kids are passing it wrong. If you see a ball that's spinning funny, then immediately you as a coach can watch that kid and hopefully look for some things that will help him be a better passer and help you identify the problem, okay? So we got a wide base, knees bent, hands on both sides of the ball, and we're going to go thumbs down as we step into the pass, and we're going to call our teammate's name, Josh, as we're throwing it, okay? Coach. This should be from the chest to the chest. Josh. Good. Coach. Very good. Josh. Coach. Good. Okay? So the chest pass is delivered with both hands working together. It's not a one-handed pass. The next pass we're going to talk about is the overhead pass. Great for rebounders on an outlet pass to take it and turn with strength and get an overhead pass out to an outlet. And so that's the one area that we really like to recommend, an overhead pass. Also, sometimes an overhead pass is very beneficial when throwing a ball from out of bounds, an inbounds play. Get the ball above your head, especially if there's somebody, a defender on playing the inbounds pass and defending the inbounds pass. An overhead pass sometimes can be beneficial in that regard. But really, not as common as the chest pass, but the overhead pass, again, is both hands on the side of the ball. We're going to take it above our head, and we're going to step into our pass, and again, we're going to call the name of our teammate. Josh. Coach. Josh. Thumbs down to the floor. Thumbs down to the floor. Josh. Coach. Very good. One more time. Josh. We can step right or left foot, Coach, because these are two-handed passes, so we like to tell our kids whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, when you start doing one-handed passes, we want to teach our kids opposition. So if they're passing with the right hand, we're going to step with our left hand. The next pass we're going to talk about is the bounce pass. And the bounce pass is just like the chest pass, only instead of throwing it at our teammates, we're going to throw it at a spot between my teammate and I. And we like to say a few things to help our kids be better passers when they throw bounce passes. Number one, we want to throw a bounce pass from the hip to the hip. We don't want bounce passes that bounce high. The bounce pass is the slowest pass in the game of basketball. And so we don't want it any higher than our waist. So our goal when I'm making a bounce pass to Josh is to keep it from my hip to his hip. So from the hip to the hip is a great teaching point when you're talking to your kids and teaching them how to throw a bounce pass. Next thing, we throw it just like we do a chest pass where we have both hands, we're stepping in. We're going to pick out a spot probably around 2/3 of the way to Josh to bounce the ball and have it come up to him and deliver a good pass, okay? Ready? So the bounce pass starts from the hip, Josh, to the hip.
Coach.
Good, very good. Josh, very good.
Coach.
Again, stepping into every pass, Josh.
Coach. Coach.
One more time. Josh.
Coach.
Good. We love to tell our kids here at Elodia to bounce pass for a layup. Bounce pass for a layup. It's a great way to get kids to understand the bounce pass is very beneficial when you're hitting people, running to the basket for a layup. In transition, utilize the bounce pass. We love to utilize the bounce pass when our teammates have a layup, okay? So from the hip to the hip and bounce pass for a layup are great teaching points when talking to your kids about throwing bounce passes.